Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So today I'll be talking about two individuals. The first one being Central Da'wah. I believe you guys should know this brother. He's done a lot in Da'wah scene. And also I'll be talking about Apos, the well-known apostate prophet. Is it prophet or prophet? I would go for prophet. So this guy is well known. He's an ex-Muslim and he always tried to attack Islam, refute Islam. Even though he's doing a very bad job, this is what he does. And it's funny, these two has had a debate, and someone said I should comment regarding the threat Central Da'wah made on AP. I would really say that the threat is totally uncalled for. And also, he said I should make a comment regarding the new Iraqi law. Regarding the new Iraqi law, I would say it is something that is none of our business. If the Iraqi people see fit that they should reduce the age of consent to something, to whatever age, it is none of our business. That's the way it is none of our business when the UK once made 7 years old as the age of consent. I would see this in the laws, in the commentaries of the laws of England by William Blackstone. Okay, you can check that out. 1765 to 1766, if I'm not mistaken. This, serves the commentaries. Yani serves as as a yardstick to understanding the laws of the English people. So that's that for it. And also, when we look at Delaware in the 18th century, we would understand that the age of consent in Delaware was 7, and also the rest of the United States were between the age of 10 to 12. These was their business and no one called for their head. So I believe if the Iraqi people choose to bring down the age of consent to whatever age, that's their business. So you should leave that for them, inshallah. So that's that about the Iraqi. So going back to APOS and Central Da'wah, they recently had a debate, like I said earlier, and the debate was pretty much interesting. Why? Because APOS was obliterated by brother Central Da'wah. And it's funny how Christians have no one to defend their deen, their religion, except APOS. You would see them saying, go debate APOS. SubhanAllah, this is someone that doesn't believe God even exists. Although I would say maybe he's tilting towards Christianity, time will tell. He came into the debate with a big cross on his neck. Maybe that's to show that, he's representing the Christian people, or maybe he's thinking about Christianity. Like I said, time will tell. And before going or reacting to the debate itself, I recently made a post on my community note. Please check that out. So regarding the debate, before we finally go into it, APOS was busy going around and everywhere. The debate was supposed to be about if Muhammad SAW was mentioned in the Bible or he was referenced in the Bible. And Central Dawah gave a point that in Deuteronomy 18:18 would see a piece of evidence to show that a prophet, unlike to Moses, would be raised from amongst their brethren. And so this is a piece of evidence that indicates or shows that Muhammad SAW is that brethren that they talked about. And then APOS tried to refute this, and this was the only time I believe he talked about the topic, because he was just busy going everywhere. You don't believe in the Bible, Jesus, you don't believe Jesus was the Son of God, you don't believe this, you don't believe that, just trying to keep the time or waste the time. And then at the end of the day, he set booby traps. SubhanAllah. And this is one of the reasons why I would not want to debate people online, or we can have a conversation but debate them, because I believe it would bring disrespect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and to the Muslim community. You need to see what he did, and this really angered Central Da'wah, that he made him say some things that he wasn't supposed to say, because I know, and this is exactly what happened. Christians, apologists, clipped this part out, and when you go to YouTube, you see it plastered everywhere on YouTube. It's quite unfortunate, and I would say this is who the Muslims are. It's quite unfortunate. So we'll be reacting to the video itself, and this is the only part, like I said, where APOS made sense, although it's an L for him because he doesn't even understand what he was reading. I'll just talk about that part and then talk about the insult itself. There are videos for that. I'll be reacting to that video, inshallah. So let's get into it.
James, may I share my screen here for a second? Just going to do it very, very briefly. And this is just to address one of the primary claims here, that Deuteronomy 18 is about must be about other people and not about Israel. Now, I didn't say anywhere that that the prophet here is Israel or anything like that. I said that different passages in the Bible that are interpreted by Muslims as prophecies are about Israel, or from the Christian perspective about Jesus here and there. But here is a very interesting thing. You keep on making this ridiculous point. You go to Deuteronomy 18:18, which says, I will raise up for them a prophet like you from among their fellow Israelites. Now, let's say it doesn't literally say that. It says from among their brethren, which is why it's interpreted as Israelites. And I will put my words in his mouth. He will tell them everything I command him. Let's now look at what the text actually says. You can do something as easy as opening up an interlinear Bible and look at the text here. A prophet I will raise up for them from among their brothers, like you. Here is the term. Here is the term. Achehem. This is Achehem. This is what it says here. They're brothers. You want to insist because it says they're brothers or they're brethren. This must be about Ishmaelites or non-Israelites. There is,
Of course, it's about Ishmaelites. Okay, when God spoke to Moses, I would raise a prophet like you from amongst their brethren. If it is talking about them, it wouldn't say from amongst their brethren. Rather, it say from amongst them. I would raise a prophet like you from amongst them. In other words, from amongst the Israelites, I would raise a prophet like you. But it says from amongst their brethren. If this is not clear cut, I wonder what is clear cut. Subhanallah. It's obvious.
a very, very simple refutation of this, dear Comedy Central Dawa. Go to Deuteronomy 17:15. It literally, and here's, I'm literally teaching you right now how to study the texts. Be sure to appoint over you a king the Lord your God chooses. He must be from among your fellow Israelites. It says,
You see, it must be amongst from your fellow. It was clear cut here, but let's continue because he's trying to do something here. But then it's an L for him. Let's continue.
Here, do not place a foreigner over you, one who is not an Israelite. Now let's look at what this passage actually says, right? Let's do the very, very same thing. Deuteronomy 17:15. Surely you shall set over you a king whom Yahweh, the Lord, chooses, your God, from among your brothers. This is the same word.
They're not the same. One said from amongst their brethren, and the other, this one said from amongst your brother. Okay, it's totally different. It's totally different.
The same word.
Again, it is not the same word. We would see it. We would see that.
Among your brothers. Ache. So it should sound familiar if you speak Arabic.
These are Semitic, languages. Of course, the first one, if you look at it very well, it said akhihim. Okay, just like Arabic, akhihim. They are brothers from amongst their brothers, and akhikum. The one in 17, is it Deuteronomy 17:15, is akhikum, from amongst you, your brothers. Akhikum. It's the same with Arabic. And the other one, akhihim, from amongst their brethren. So first, these are not the same word. Yeah, it's the same word akhi, the same word brothers. But when we look at who is these allocated to, it is totally different. From you and from there. Like I said, if it were talking about Israelite, it would have said from amongst them. I would raise a prophet like you from amongst them. It wouldn't say from amongst their brethren. And of course, we know the Ishmaelites are, of course, the brothers of Isaac. So it's clear cut here. This I don't know how this guy studies his Bible, and he claims he's teaching someone. No wonder he's here to become a Christian, because he knows these things are just things that doesn't make sense.
Or if you know the Arabic term, akhi, from among your brothers. It is here, achichem. It is here, achika. It's the same word. From among your brothers.
The akhi there is the same word, okay? But then the pronoun there is what? Because that's what determines who is this talking about, okay? Is it talking about the Israelite, or it's talking about a different nation? Okay, when it says akhihim, from amongst their brethren, it's talking about a different nation that is not they, okay? But when it says from akhikum, from amongst you, okay, then it's talking about the Israelite. This is clear cut. And in fact, when we look at the verse, the whole verse, the context of the verse, Deuteronomy 17, it says, it mentions Israelites there. So this is specific to this people, but the other one is from amongst their brethren, not from amongst them. These are two different things.
However, here is a problem. The verse continues. It says that you may set over you a man who is not a foreigner. Who is not a foreigner. So you must set up a man from among yourselves, a man who is not a foreigner.
This verse is not talking about the prophet made mentioned in Deuteronomy 18. No, it's not talking about that. It's talking about a different thing, an entirely different thing. This guy is confused about, this guy is conflating the two verses. And it's obvious that this guy doesn't know what he's saying. And this, like I said, is the only time apostate prophet made sense, because this was the only time I believe he talked about the topic at hand, which is, was Muhammad mentioned in the Bible or referenced to in the Bible?
Not a foreigner. He must be your brother, not a foreigner. This is a clear instruction, which is why it is understood universally so, to only put people who are from the tribes of Israel on top of your society. Only.
I remember Ahmed Deedat once had a debate with someone, a pastor, and he made mention of Deuteronomy 18:18, and the pastor totally agreed. He totally agreed. It wasn't talking about Israelites. Okay, so like I said, this guy is just confused. He's conflating the two verses. The first one wasn't talking about another nation. It made its point clear, the Israelites. Then the second one said their brother, now not the Israelites, but then their brother, and we know who they are. Okay, we know who they are.
Your fellow Israelites may lead you, not anybody else. This is how you study Scripture, Comedy Central, not any otherwise. Your entire opening speech rests on the false claim that because it says brothers here, this must be about non-Israelites. It is easily refuted in your entire.
No, that's not because of that. The word brother, again, that's not the reason. Okay, but what came with that word brother, that's the reason. Okay, you should understand this. You speak English, you should understand this. Their brethren is different from amongst them. Okay, these are two different things, so you should understand this. I understand you have to stand in defense of Christianity, and you're really doing a bad job, a really bad job. Okay,
opening speeches crumbles. Bury your head in shame.
So now we're looking at the second one, which has to do with the insult, the threat and all that. Insult by AP, and this provoked our brother Central Da'wah, and he resorted into, threatening AP. And like I said, these guys are looking for gotcha moments, okay? And he got him on that, really. He got him on that.
And also commands that apostates like myself should be executed. So
100%, yes. Are we allowing for this guy to use the Quran as an L? Are we allowing him to make fun of my holy texts?
You see, that's the problem. Like I said, Apos was just going about everywhere in the debate. He wasn't really focused. He wasn't talking about the topic at hand, which was Muhammad mentioned in the Scripture and the Bible. He was just going everywhere, and this is exactly what he thinks would comfort him. He sets this booby trap, and this brother fell for that. Okay, you don't have to repeat these things on live, on air. It is well known. Okay, so if you have issues with that, then go hang yourself. It is well known. You don't have to say, okay, 100% and all that. Just ignore him. And aside this, we'll see these things mentioned in the Old Testament, regarding, executing those that are apostated from, in fact, not just those that are apostated, anyone that asks you to leave the religion of your father, then that person should be taken out without mercy. In fact, the general community should come and stone this person without mercy. Okay, so these are things would see, though they would say there's a new covenant and that is abolished. We don't know about that, even if Jesus said he has not come to abolish the laws of the prophets.
What's the problem?
Problem is you're having a intellectual debate.
Of course, you're supposed to have an intellectual debate with people that have brains, not with the likes of AP. And again, like I said earlier, even before playing all this, I said this is one of the reasons why I don't want to debate live. These guys, it doesn't matter if someone is moderating the debate, okay? These guys will do things that this moderator cannot do anything about. And this is a perfect example. SubhanAllah. So if it is one-on-one debate, of course, you have no choice. You can't do this if it's one-on-one debate. You cannot do this. I believe there would be this mutual respect if it's one-on-one debate. But if it is something like this, I just count me out of it. I wouldn't be a reason for someone to insult Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's quite unfortunate.
Newark, New Jersey. Say it with me. I swear by Allah. Okay, when I see you in February.
So these are the videos you would see plastered all over YouTube. Okay, this is who Muslims are. This is just one of them. SubhanAllah, we should be careful how we react to things. Okay, just be patient. Allah will deal with this person. Okay, and that's just the fact.
You're going to be plastered everywhere on social media. That's my word in front of 1.4 thousand people.
Whoa, what does that mean?
When I see you in February,
Whoa,
you'll see.
What does that mean?
You'll see.
What does that mean? Explain to us.
You'll see.
So you see, AP keep provoking this brother, and would make him say something he's not even supposed to say. Okay, subhanallah.
You literally just said that I deserve to be executed because I'm an apostate, and then you have an issue with the scholarship
Yes,
Quran.
you're 100% halal. Your blood.
Wait, James, wait, can you say that again? Can you say it again, Central Dawa?
It is halal. Tell him to pull this down from the screen.
Hey, CD, did you just...
Subhanallah, and this is what AP wants, okay? For this guy to be provoked and for him to make comments that he's not supposed to make. You know, it's quite unfortunate that this brother fell for AP's trap. The debate was really an interesting one. This guy had no argument, but look at the way the debate ended. This brother had to leave. Subhanallah.
Did you just say your blood is halal?
No,
I will not continue unless he pulls this
now I'm going to
Quran
you to hold on. Okay,
page down.
you guys.
Can you ask him to take this down, or I will see myself out?
I just don't take very kindly to people saying that that I deserve to be executed, so I think I'll just keep it here.
Okay, so he's not going to take it down. I'll see myself out. Modern day debates. I appreciate it. Thank you. AP,
So
you
you said
lost,
Central
got
Dawa.
obliterated. You had to result to insulting. You got cooked.
So,
I'll see you in
okay,
February.
sounds like you don't want to listen to me, Central Dawa.
You see, why would you want to debate people like this guy? If it's not a physical debate, one-on-one debate, why would you want to debate people like this guy? Like I said, the moderator cannot do anything, okay? He's just there sitting and watching. He can't do anything, even if this guy insults you, insults Allah, insults the Prophet ﷺ. But if it's a one-on-one debate, he would never, you know, I think they would have a physical debate. I don't know if that would hold, but I think they would have a physical debate. You would see how respectful it would be. It wouldn't be like this, okay? And this is the difference. You have one-on-one debate with people, and then you guys would respect yourself. You bring your evidences, this other person brings his evidences, and you know the audience would judge. Debates like this, please, we should try and avoid these things. Else would be a reason for someone to be insulting Allah, and which is very bad. You shouldn't insult those who they hold as object of worship, or as idols, or as deities other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Also, they would insult Allah. There's people that hold this deities would insult Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in response. So that's how it ended, and the brother left. But then it has created a dent on the image of Islam. Subhanallah. So to the rest of you guys, I'd say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Catch you in the next one.